The topic we picked for our controversy was the Vietnam Memorial by Maya Lin. First, we'll start with the biography of the architect.
Born on October 5, 1959 in Athens, Ohio, Julia Chang Lin and Henry Huan Lin. Father was a ceramicist and mother was a poet. Parents immigrated from China. She excelled in mathematics from an early age, which led her to pursue a career in architecture. As a child, she used to build miniature towns and worked in her father's ceramics studio. She completed her bachelor's degree in architecture and sculpture from Yale in 1981.
Vietnam Memorial is currently in Washington, D.C. It was a result of a class project during Lin's senior year when she was 21 years old. The design of the memorial which she proposed was pretty simple. Two granite polished walls which dipped into the earth at an angle of 130 degrees. The two arms were to be extended, the first one at the Lincoln Memorial and the second one at Washington, D.C. Monument. The walls were to be inscribed with the names of approximately 58,000 men and women who were killed or went missing in Vietnam. The names were not to be in an alphabetical order, but rather in an order in which the men and women were killed or reported to be missing. Lin stated that it was like an epic Greek poem. The memorial was dedicated in November 1982. The visual arts of the monument, it has color, balance, shape, and line. It has horizontal lines which are aligned with the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial. It has the color black, which is reflective because of the granite marble, and the names are a contrast in white against color. The balance in the memorial is achieved through it being symmetrically balanced, and it is submerged into the earth at such an angle that it draws in the viewer into the middle of the artwork. The artwork is shaped and looks like a V. During winter when it snows, the black marble is a contrast to the white, which is from the snow and covers the whole area except the black marble.
Jan Scraggs, a Vietnam veteran, is a big part of the creation of the Vietnam Memorial Wall. He launched a personal crusade to raise funds for a memorial that would tribute to the soldiers who had lost their lives in the war. Although this outstanding veteran did most, veteran Tom Hart pushed for a more traditional monument. He even submitted an entry into the contest featuring him and a fallen comrade. Some saw it as an anti-war statement, others just wondered why an Asian American should be the designer. Many veterans, politicians, critics, and the general public read its refusal to explicitly glorify the war or frame the listed soldiers' sacrifice in recognizably heroic terms as an ideological statement, proof of Lin's and the memorial's purported anti-war position.
After the Vietnam Wall was built, many opinions came out from all over the country. One side of the argument was all about disappointment. People believed that we were just honoring the loss of our country, that we were being disrespectful for those who died and sacrificed for our country. One quote that was stated in the Washington Post from May 16, 1981 said, "Thanks a lot, America. We have done it again. Now we are going to have a Vietnam Veterans Memorial that does not even identify where or in what war the men and women served and died. That's recognition." Not only did people disagree with the idea of having a memorial for the war we lost, but they also judged and critiqued the model of the wall. The wall lacks realistic statuary and wants to make as many changes as they can, they said. A lot of people misinterpreted the meaning of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Regardless of the thought of having a memorial or the lack of artistry, the Vietnam Wall has a strong meaning and a message. The prideful city of London is filled with monuments to those who fell fighting in so many British mistakes. Was the Boer War, the war against the Zulu or Gordon's heroic clash with the Mahdi at Khartoum, any more just than our action in Vietnam? Is Vietnam any less triumph? Let us all support our honored dead. A quote from Washington Star on May 21st, 1981, clearly stating how besides all the mistakes that has been done, we always have to thank those who had the guts to fight for us. It does not matter if we won or lost. What matters is how high our heads are held up and how we keep fighting without stopping.
Visitors to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial generally are deeply moved by it. There are 5 visual features of the memorial wall as the outcome, which are identified to appeal to all visitors. It violates the conventional form of war memorials. It assumes a welcoming stance. It provides little information to the visitor. It focuses attention on those who did not survive the war, and it generates multiple references for its visual components. The effectiveness of the memorial suggests that it may serve as a model for contemporary anti-war rhetoric. The earliest of the battles was the controversy over Lin's design. Revisiting the term of this conflict not only provides insight into how and why visual art came to be so politicized in the 1980s, but also sheds light on the debates of the present historical moment, which parallels with the debates during that period regarding the social purpose of art. Controversy begins almost immediately. Among many controversies surrounding the proposed design and construction of the wall, Tom Carhar's impassioned plea stands out. On October 13, 1981, at the Commission of Fine Arts meeting, where Lin can be seen in the footage sitting in the audience, Carhart speaks out being spat on in an airport when returning from service in Vietnam, explained why he objects to the design and called Lin's proposal for a memorial a black scar and black gash of shame, an insult to Vietnam veteran. Carhart wanted the VVMF, short for Vietnam Veteran Memorial Fund, committee to reopen the selection process for a design contest and have a panel consisting of exclusively of Vietnam veterans to determine the winning proposal. Maya Lin herself received harassment regarding her ethnicity because she is Asian and believes that if the competition had not been blind, that with designs submitted by number instead of name, she never would have won. As the compromise, the VVMF agreed to the addition of the 3 soldiers and an American flag. At the end, a bronze sculpture in the Iron Mike, tradition by Frederick Hart, titled The 3 Soldiers, is situated across from and appears to be looking at the wall. Maya Lin wrenches to the compromise by asserting that the change she won't call an addition violate the integrity of her work and completely alter the nature of the memorial. The VVMF finds itself caught between the political critics and the art community. It is left to the Commission of Fine Arts to forge yet another compromise, this time on the location of the statue and flag, which itself is contested, and the matter is not settled till after the successful dedication of the wall in November 1982. To this day, the U.S. National Park Service collects items left at the wall. Visitors commonly leave handwritten notes and sentiments rubbing from the names, prisoner of war missing in action, commemorative bracelets, uniforms, and bits of uniforms, including boots. In November 2012, 283 of the names were read out loud at the wall. Another outcome of the Vietnam Veteran Memorial Wall is the effect on veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder. They compare the scores of Vietnam veterans in treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder on the Mississippi scale for combat-related post-traumatic stress disorder just before, just after, and 6 months after they participate in a pilgrimage to the Vietnam War Memorial in Washington, D.C. Significant short-term improvements was reported. This research suggests that the pilgrimage to the wall led to short-term improvements on several post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms and long-term improvements for some participants, but equally large exacerbations for others on a subset of symptoms.
Memorial was Lynn's first project, which gained fame even before she graduated with her bachelor's degree in architect. It paved a pathway to her other projects, such as the one in Pennsylvania in 1995, The Eclipsed Time, and in the same year, in 1995, another project was Wavefield, which is wave-looking structures on a ground in a grassy field. The most famous project is named Above and Below, and it is currently in Indianapolis Museum of Art. It was created in 2007. And then she has another memorial, which is the Lost Memorial, which is in California Academy of Sciences. The Lost Memorial was constructed in 2009. One of her recent projects is the platform, which is in New York and was created in 2014. The most recent project which she has is called What Is Missing. It started off in 2015 with a collaboration of other artists. What Is Missing is one project, as it is not tangible in form, as it is a virtual project. It's about extinct creatures and the disasters on Earth. It is viewed online. Given examples of her artwork, it is clear that Maya Lin placed a great emphasis on sustainability and on having simple, elegant artworks which spoke volumes. Thank you.
Fora TV, the world is thinking.
I mean, I think the piece is, it was never meant, it's for the veterans, but it's also, if anyone goes in there, I don't know, the key with it is I watched as a group of school kids went in there. They didn't have any connection to the war specifically. They're actually a rowdy bunch of kids, and, you know, they're kids. They're having a good time. And the minute they started walking into it, the teacher didn't have to say anything. They just quieted down. I think there's a universalness to it. Maybe it's the psychology of what it is and how it's working, where you begin, it's not that, it's almost like the names rise up and you become a part of it, and it doesn't overpower you. And I think there are key things about it. I mean, I really don't want to go into it. It's a book out of doors. The text is made so it's less than a ½ inch thick. It was pretty much, I was told, you can't do that. Monument design is like, lettering has to be yay high. What happens when you put a book out of doors? You read it personally. Anything I do, it's very intimate, no matter how large these pieces are. So I think there's some universal sort of reactions to the piece that will still be the same sort of psychological reaction to it. And I think it was always meant so that it is a timeline of a specific war, but in essence, it is about maybe the universal loss of people in a war.